Hi, welcome back to another TerranScapes video. In this video, sort of continuing on my new release theme here, I wanted to show you the conifer tree stand. So they're very similar in design to the deciduous trees, but of course a different feel, and I think some different gaming maybe as well. So let's take a closer look at them, and I'll show you them up close in detail. So here you can see the small stand of conifers, and this is using TerranScapes conifer trees. I think they're some of the best conifers on the market, and adding quite a variety of them to the stand so that it really feels a little bit more natural. And if you are new to this basing system I've developed, these are cast bases with tight-fitting discs in them that allow me to drill tight-fitting holes for the pins so that the trees are mounted very durably to the basing, and so they're not likely to come apart through repeated use. And what I've been doing is exploring slightly different themes for some of the tables that I had made, so looking at some different foliage options. So this is sort of a bramble hedge piece from Silflor, and sort of gives you a little idea of what that looks like. It's kind of a nice different types of texture to go onto this sort of forest theme base. So that's the small stand. And this is the medium conifer stand. Again, similar in design with the removable bases. And the nice thing as compared to the deciduous tree stands is it's a little bit easier to fit them all back in. If you saw my deciduous tree stand, I got a little overzealous with how many trees I added to that. But this provides a very different kind of a feel because the conifers don't have a wide base to them or a heavy top. There is sort of a clump feel of them in it, but I think that kind of works well. You could think of paths going through the trees, something like that. And the other thing that is kind of interesting, let's see here. If you notice as I pick this up, most of these are fitting just snug enough to stay. But that's not a guarantee. There will be variations depending on how they get flocked and how they get sanded. But what I like about the conifers is with their dense base, you can see that's going to very effectively block line of sight for line of sight required games. But it's not blocking line of sight at all angles. There are going to be some ways that you might be able to see through the forest and some ways that you might not. So I think it kind of adds a little bit of a tactical variation to the table and to the concept of a forest in gameplay, at least for some of the gaming systems. But this gives you a sense of what the medium tree stand looks like. And this is the largest of the tree stands for the conifers. I forgot, I did this in previous videos, but in case you're new. So this is about 10 inches by 9 inches across, and features quite a number of these removable bases so that you can move large units of troops through it if you need to. And of course it also gives me a little bit more of a foundation to add in some of those bramble hedges and a little bit more vegetation variation. And what I did for these is I tried to go with some darker colors. I wanted a more of a muted base, so this is sort of the end result that you see here. Again, let's see if I can pick this up. I think there's a few that are loose. Oh, not too bad. 1, 2. Yeah, they're just almost stable in there on their own. But you can see from a more of a game, model's perspective, just how nice that looks. I'm really pleased with how these came out. And if you've missed one of my previous videos discussing this basing system, the holes have been left open so that you can see the table surface through them, which I think aesthetically makes the forest look much more attractive when a few of these bases are removed. For a large unit, you may need to remove several, and I often find that it just looks kind of unattractive when there's a black foundation or something like that. But if you are interested in having a foundation for them, as sometimes when the trees are being moved, when the bases is being moved, say from the shelf to the tabletop, you may need to remove the tree bases from the stand and move them individually, because some of them are a little loose fitting. I'd rather them defer to being loose fitting rather than too tight of a fit, because you'd hate to pull a tree out of the base trying to get it out of that little receptacle hole, whatever. And as I mentioned before, because now I'm using a plastic urethane cast base, it allows me to drill holes that much better match the actual pin size of the trees, so you get a really good tight bond with these trees. They're not going to come out during use, and I feel much better about the overall durability of these tree stands compared to the previous ones that I've made. So that gives you a little sense of what the large conifer tree base looks like. And not shown in previous videos utilizing this new system I've sort of made. System. That sounds a little grand, but a new style of basing is that I'm also going to offer the bases unfinished, and then you could add whatever you want to the bases. Make it a forest, make it a graveyard, make it rock outcroppings, whatever interests you. And you can see that the discs are relatively loosely fitting, and that is really to ensure there's a little bit of space when they're flocked and paint is applied, as that tends to crowd the gap just a little bit. But they've been cut to be relatively tight fitting to their holes, much better than the previous versions that I've done, where I was using a hole saw and it left an actually very aggressive gap. Here there's just a tiny bit of play in these, and so this way you get a much better appearance, particularly when they're flocked. So that gives you a sense of what the unfinished bases will what they do look like. And like I said, these will go up in the store as well, as a budget-oriented option for the do-it-yourselfer. So that gives you a chance to see the other tree stand style that I'll be putting up on the site, Conifer tree stand. And again, gives you a chance to see that basing system yet again applied, for a variety of types of adornment on the actual bases themselves. Overall, I've been really pleased with them, how they perform in game, and their overall appearance. So I'm really excited about getting these out. But of course, the unfinished bases will be available as well. So keep your eye on the TerranScapes website for when these go up. Hopefully they're going to be available for the August 4th opening. This is 2013, in case you're looking at this video in the future. And I still have more videos to shoot, more new things coming out. I did a lot of work for the gaming party that I had. So hopefully you'll come back and visit my channel and take a look at those videos that'll be coming out real soon.